Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of the wonderful TVOS channel. Today we will be going over all the new sports news that has happened in the past few days. We will also be talking about the college football season starting up and the games played so far. And lastly, we will be talking about the announcement that UFC CEO Dana White made yesterday on Instagram Live. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are not caught up with sports, this video will be great for you, as this is the voice of sports. A big NFL trade happened yesterday between the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers, where edge rusher Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers for D-tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. This trade was anticipated. Everybody thought that Parsons would go to the Green Bay Packers, but Jerry Jones was not available to trades until now. About after 10 minutes that he announced that he is open to hearing trades for Parsons, the trade was announced and it officially came through. No details about the trade really was announced until later, but that the fact that Micah Parsons was a Green Bay Packer, I think that he is a great fit with the Green Bay Packers. He was talking with Jordan Love on a podcast. He asked Jordan Love, who would you want to come join your organization? And Jordan Love said, the man sitting next to me. So that was kind of a big cycle moment, and it's great to see Micah Parsons finally be happy. I think the Green Bay Packers can truly be contenders if they maybe elevate their receiving squad. Even after the draft pick of Matthew Golden, I would still like them to add another weapon. Jordan Love, he's an outstanding talent. They have a good running game with Josh Jacobs. I just think that Green Bay team, give them 1 or 2 years, they could really be contenders. Not saying that they won't be this year, but they will be really strong contenders soon. Next, hopping into the college football world, Thursday, August 28, 2025, hosted a handful of entertaining college football games. This is the second bunch of games that has started the season before college football week 1 on Saturday has begun. And last Saturday, we got a matchup between 2 ranked teams where 22-ranked Iowa State beat 17-ranked Kansas State 24-21. This game hosted a bunch of turnovers early in the game with 4 fumbles back to back, but honestly a great game. Since the video is being recorded and hopefully posted on August 29, 2025, we'll be focused on the games from the 28th. And let's start off with the August 28th games. So to start off, the University of South Florida absolutely smoked 25-ranked Boise State, showing that without Ashton Denny, Boise State is absolutely hot garbage. Boise State, who were big-time favorites, lost 34-7 against the Bulls, and the Boise State Broncos defense could not stop the USF quarterback Byron Brown, who I will show in the following video after I say this, was running over the Broncos defense and made it look like Brown was a 20-year-old in the 10U Rec League. Just take a look at this.
Another designed run for Brown, and he makes a man miss. Another flag on the play. Was Brown able to make a couple of men miss? He's still on his feet. There goes Byron. Touchdown, Bulls.
I mean, that entire play sums up the game. USF absolutely dominated Boise State, collapsing all hopes for Broncos fans that wished for a playoff-bound season. This game brings USF a large amount of momentum, and I could truly see USF continuing to play this good and be a top contenders in the AAC. And you know what? Speaking of the AAC, the East Carolina Pirates visited the NC State Wolfpack in a Military Bowl matchup yesterday in Raleigh, North Carolina. It looked like a blowout from the first 3 quarters, but it turned into an absolute nail-biter. I, who am a Pirates fan and a Greenville native, basically gave up after we were down 24-7 in the 3rd quarter. But Caden Hauser never fails to impress me. Caden Hauser played a great game. He went 30 for 44, 382 total yards, and 1 passing touchdown. And I'm going to give props to NC State too. Wolfpack quarterback CJ Bailey had 339 total yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 being a passing, 1 being a rushing, and 1 interception. Personally, I think NC State defense really showed up last night and shut down the Pirates for a majority of the game, and added that up with a fair run game with their running back running 22 attempts for 77 yards. The East Carolina Pirates, who looked absolutely rough in the first 3 quarters, I've said that multiple times because it was true if you were watching the game, found a way to keep it close at 24-17 after a field goal drive. They went out on defense and let NC State throw an absolute 50-yard bomb on their head. Teddy Hoffman came down with the catch. It was a great catch and an absolute great throw from the quarterback CJ Bailey. In Pirate favor, the Wolfpack would go -4 yards for the rest of the drive and miss a field goal, which was, as a Pirate fan, it was the craziest thing ever. I was so happy to see them miss the field goal, but it wasn't good for the rest of the game, as we started out from our own 29-yard line with 5 minutes, 37 seconds, and 3 timeouts left. The Pirates had a 4th and 1 situation at the NC State 9. They dropped the idea of keeping all 3 timeouts in case they turned the ball over, which turned out to be the wrong move. On 4th and 1, ECU offensive coordinator might have had one of the worst calls with a tight end flat that resulted in a 1-yard loss. As a Pirate fan myself, we expected to run up the middle, as that was bringing us a lot of luck that drive, but we threw a tight end flat route that we thought could trick the defense of NC State that we did not realize is a lot better than our play calling. The NC State Wolfpack won the game 24-17 in a great game, and here's the last play that ECU ran.
Left tip. Play fake. Hauser throws on the perimeter. Riles the catch. Flag down.
The final game that I'll be going over in today's video is the Nebraska Cornhuskers versus the Cincinnati Bearcats. Nebraska, who has a sophomore 5-star quarterback, Dylan Raiola, plays an outstanding run team in Cincinnati. Raiola, who is known for being the Temu version of Patrick Mahomes, completed many cross route passes with good accuracy, especially the 2nd and 8 pass with 11 minutes, 9 seconds in the second quarter. I mean, when I say that he threw a lot of good cross passes, I'm talking about in the early stages of the game. He also completed a lot of good passes in the late stages of the game. The Cornhuskers continued to drive down the field and score a field goal. The Cornhuskers got the ball back after a Bearcat fumble and scored a lob fade route touchdown to the receiver Hunter, who actually had a few great receptions the previous drive. In the third quarter, the Bearcats finally managed to score a touchdown with a 7-yard rushing touchdown from the quarterback Brendan Sorsby, but this did not mean that Nebraska was slowing down. After back-to-back punts from Nebraska and Cincinnati, Nebraska scored on a 13-play, 67-yard drive where Raiola threw a pass to Dane Key for a 3-yard touchdown. The Bearcats responded back with another touchdown after quarterback Brendan Sorsby and Tawee Walker dominated the Nebraska defense, ran all over them, and Sorsby got into the end zone again for a 1-yard touchdown. After Nebraska punted, the Bearcats had a chance to knock off the Cornhuskers, but the cornerback Hart Zog came down with a contested interception to win the game 20-17 for the Cornhuskers.
Sorsby up top in danger territory. It's picked off by Hartzog.
Lastly, on today's video, we will go over Dana White's fight announcements on Instagram Live on August 28th, 2025. With Islam Makhachev announced to be moving up to the welterweight division and to fight welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena, Dana White finally announced that this fight would happen at UFC 322 Saturday, November 15th at Madison Square Garden. He also announced that a champion versus champion co-main event between flyweight champion Shevchenko versus strawweight champion Zhang. This fight was anticipated and will be a great fight. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates will also happen at UFC 322. And lastly, White announced Nurmagomedov versus Bautista at UFC 321. Once again, I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these last names. I know I did with Prates and with the flyweight champion that I'm not even going to try to say again because I will embarrass myself. I'm sorry for these mispronunciations. I can't help it. And ladies and gentlemen, lastly, I thank you guys for tuning into this week's TVOS production. I hope everybody has a blessed weekend and the following week. This is the Voice of Sports by Isaiah Sharp, signing out.